What is going on, Sports Wars? This is Ryan with RK Outpost and geeksandgamers.com. And I was going to make a video, but I decided to just go live for a little bit and talk about it. It's not going to be too long, but kind of go over the results of this NFL honors. And if you can read the title, you can see that Lamar Jackson is indeed the most valuable player. I don't think you can really call that a shock. However, the fact that it's unanimous, I do think is pretty big. Lamar Jackson obviously had a ridiculous season for a Baltimore Ravens team. They had a season no one really expected them to have. I don't think anyone expected them to dominate quite the way they did in the regular season. Obviously, the end of their run in the postseason coming up against the Titans, maybe not exactly what they thought it was going to be. And I see we have someone saying, Raptor Rancher says, Wilson, the true MVP. And I think you might get a lot of arguments for that. I think that Russell Wilson, that team, he did a lot for that team this year. But you can't argue with the season that Lamar Jackson had. It was pretty insane. I'll go ahead and screen share as I'm going through Twitter right now for you guys, actually. Go ahead and screen share that. And you can see for the second time ever, the other one being Tom Brady, there is a unanimous NFL MVP. And I do think that is, kind of a big deal that it is unanimous like that. Let me go ahead, actually, and if anybody wants to come, put it in here. Sorry, guys, just sharing a link real quick. All right. But, yeah, unanimous. You can see that right there. 1,206 rushing yards. That's a hell of a year for a running back. 1,200 yards, 7 rushing touchdowns. 36 passing touchdowns. Youngest player in NFL history with multiple 5 passing touchdown games. You see Field Yates right here. Unanimous NFL MVP, NFL passing touchdown leader, 43 total touchdowns accounted for. Most rushing yards by a quarterback ever. And, after watching that 30 by 30 or the 30 for 30 on Michael Vick, the fact that Lamar Jackson now has the most rushing yards of any quarterback in a season, it's pretty telling. It's pretty awesome watching that 30 for 30 and seeing all those things, remembering all those things that Mike Vick did back in the day. But definitely had a great season. And we will go ahead and look at a list of all of the NFL honors here. Actually, here we go. Adam Schefter just did a pretty good breakdown. NFL awards. So if you're just tuning in, because it is kind of a pre-recorded thing, so they don't show it live. I wish we could watch it live, but I think it's going to air on Fox a little later on tonight. But here you go. NFL awards. MVP, Ravens quarterback Lamar Jackson. Defensive player of the year, Stephon Gilmore for the Patriots, who did have a good season. But yeah, there's a lot of people saying that it should have been Bosa, not just for rookie of the year. He won defensive rookie of the year, but maybe for defensive player of the year, period. So I've seen some people talking about that. Offensive player of the year, Saints, wide receiver Michael Thomas. I don't know if you're going to get many people arguing that. The dude broke all kinds of records this year. It's an absolute animal. Goes in, day out. It's pretty awesome. Comeback player of the year also as well. Ryan Tannehill, who I think was a forgotten man. It was laughed at when the Titans acquired him from Miami. People didn't really know what they were going to do with him. You already got Marcus Mariota, kind of an average quarterback as is. You bring another average quarterback. What's that really going to do for you? As it turns out for the Tennessee Titans, it did a hell of a lot. Ryan Tannehill had an awesome season. He won me my fantasy football league. So that alone is reason enough for me to celebrate Ryan Tannehill. Offensive rookie of the year, Cardinals quarterback Kyler Murray. Now, if you can actually see right here trending, Josh Jacobs. Oh, Justice for Johnny Depp is trending. Ooh, that's interesting. But anyway, that's something else. Josh Jacobs is trending. Josh Jacobs had a hell of a year. I think a better year than Kyler Murray. I think Josh Jacobs had a better year as a running back than Kyler Murray had as a quarterback. Maybe the pressure's a little bit different. The roles are obviously different. Kyler Murray did have a good season, but I thought Josh Jacobs was superior when it comes to if you're just going to get an offensive rookie of the year. But that's just my opinion. And then again, Nick Bosa, like we talked about, he was a monster. I think Nick Bosa might end up being better than Joey Bosa, which is pretty crazy to think about. And then coach of the year, Ravens, John Harbaugh. Assistant Coach of the Year, Ravens, Greg Roman. Well, there you go. Let's see what people are saying over here. Gilmore isn't even the best corner in the league. Ooh. Jameis Robb, offensive player, defense player. Yes, pretty good. Here, this is pretty funny. Lamar is the first running back to win MVP since God knows when. That is pretty good. That's pretty good. Oh, that's an interesting comeback player. There should be Jimmy G. It's a pretty good one too. I mean, Jimmy G has had a great year, but that's true, and we do see often great players. Well, I don't know if we call Jimmy a great player per se, but I think a lot of is expected of him. So I guess even when we do have players that we do expect a lot of things from them, when they overcome an injury, they do get comeback player of the year. Ryan Tannehill, it's more than just the injury side of it. It's the fact that he performed at a level that we've never seen from him before. I didn't even think of Jimmy G, to be honest. Gardner got stumped. Are you talking about Gardner Minshew? Maybe, yeah. Not even a vote. Not even a vote. Let's go here. This is a live. I think only Walter Payton Man of the Year is the only one we have not had yet. But daily, look at this. This is a weird one. Now they've got this. Daily Fantasy Player of the Year, Christian McCaffrey. Christian McCaffrey, God, if he was on a team that had any sort of stability at quarterback, what could he have done this year? What a freaking incredible year from Christian McCaffrey. And it may well be forgotten, unfortunately, with what has gone on this year. And that's kind of sad. Salute to Service Award, Donnie Edwards. That's awesome. Oh, let's talk about Hall of Fame class. The Hall of Fame class was also announced about an hour ago. I was getting ready to make a video on that, and I decided, you know what? MVP is about to come out. Let's just go live when it happens. So the Hall of Fame class of 2020, Edgerrin James, Steve Atwater of the Denver Broncos, Isaac Bruce, of course, from The Greatest Show on Turf, Troy Polamalu, obviously Steelers, and Steve Hutchinson, the Seahawks offensive lineman. So 5 guys. We do have one person that's a first ballot Hall of Famer in Troy Polamalu. We've had several over the past couple of years, including, 2018. I know you had Urlacher, Randy Moss, and Ray Lewis all make it on their first try. And then, I kind of forget the class from last year. Ed Reed was in there, a couple others, but definitely a lot of first-timers over the past couple of years. And now Troy Polamalu joins that club. Edgerrin James had obviously such a productive, prolific career with Peyton Manning as the quarterback and that just system that they had going down, Tony Dungy had going on in Indy. Edgerrin James put up a ton of yards, very productive, so well-deserved for him. Isaac Bruce, we had a kind of a log jam for a while, felt like, at wide receiver until a couple of people finally broke through, Chris Carter, Randy Moss, Terrell Owens, guys like that finally getting through. Well, obviously Randy Moss's first ballot, he didn't have to wait, but now it does seem like a lot more wide receivers are getting in. Isaac Bruce, a guy who at the time when he retired, the only guy that had more yards than him was Jerry Rice. Part of that historic 99 Rams team, Greatest Show on Turf, with Torrey Holt on the other side of him, Kurt Warner slinging that rock around. Interesting. So very cool that he was able to get there. And then Steve Atwater and Steve Hutchinson. Like I said, Steve Atwater, Broncos safety, hard-hitting guy. Made 7 or 8 Pro Bowls in his career. Steve Hutchinson, same thing. He actually blocked for 2 guys who led the league in rushing, Sean Alexander in Seattle, and then Adrian Peterson in Minnesota. So great career. Obviously, anybody who makes the Hall of Fame, you're going to say great careers. These guys are larger-than-life athletes, so that's awesome for them. You also had a couple other random things. Anything but ordinary player of the year. Larry Fitzgerald won that. Adrian Peterson won the Sportsmanship Award. Deacon Jones, or Shaq Barrett wins the Deacon Jones Award. Bud Light Selly of the Year, the Seahawks for the NSYNC celebration. That is something new. I've never heard of the Selly of the Year, but that must have been their celebration of the year. Academy Awards might want to take some tips from the NFL honors. I don't think any thank you speech has gone over 60 seconds. That's how it should be. for sure. Let's go back and check Twitter again. Go back to all this. I can get rid of that. Get rid of all here. NFL honors. So Lamar Jackson, the 2019 NFL MVP, is younger than the 2019 Heisman Trophy winner. Are you kidding me? Joe Burrow is older than Lamar Jackson. Wow. Wilson should have won it. I've heard a lot of that sentiment, to be honest. Origin Nova. I've heard a lot of that sentiment. It's tough when someone has the year that Lamar Jackson had statistically on a team that was the number 1 seed in the AFC. Regardless of what happened in the playoffs, when you look at the numbers he put up, 43 total touchdowns. We went over it a little bit, 3,600 yards, 1,200 rushing yards. Incredible year. I do think that Russell Wilson maybe did a little more with less, but yeah. Yeah, Dwayne Carter, yeah. Lamar, unanimous. That's right. Unanimous, which that was a little surprising. I was surprised that no one voted for Russell Wilson at all. Total landslide. Only other person that's happened to is Tom Brady. I think Tom Brady's 50 touchdown season maybe in like the 2007, I think. Wait, they already did them? Yeah, so it's pre-recorded. I don't know why they do this, but the NFL honors are going on right now, and it's not going to air for another couple hours. So let's see. Lamar won MVP by default. It's BS and my favorite player, John Lynch, is not in. Well, I'm sorry about that, Zach. I know Zach Thomas. Longtime middle linebacker. A lot of people were hoping he might get in. It doesn't seem like this was his year. A guy who did have a very productive career for a long time anchoring that defense in Miami. Been a diehard fan since 2006. Let's flipping go. Big trust. Wilson fell off towards the end of the season. Lamar Jackson did serious damage against my fantasy team. I totally slept in him. Slept on him? Maybe. Slept in him sounds different. I don't know, Con, man. I was expecting it to be on later, too. And then I remember this is how they do it because I started seeing literally everything trending on Twitter, all my ESPN alerts going off, all my CBS Sports alerts going off. So wanted to let you guys know about it here. I'm not sure why they do it that way, to be perfectly honest. It does seem kind of silly. And there you go. Tom Brady giving a shout out to Stephon Gilmore. And there you go. Finally, I'm glad we got to hear that. I wanted to make sure we got that before we went down. Walter Payton, Man of the Year. Jaguars defensive lineman, Calais Campbell, great guy, richly deserving. 100%. And as someone who is a Bears fan, a lot of times that presentation of the Walter Payton Award can kind of get to me a little bit. What happened with Walter Payton is one of the saddest things we had in sports. Obviously, it puts a lot in perspective with what's going on with the man whose jersey is behind me right now and what we've seen from him this year or this past couple weeks with all the remembrance. That's also a very sad moment as well, obviously. But yeah, Walter Payton meant a lot to the sport of the NFL, and that is a very honored award to get, is that Walter Payton Man of the Year. So congrats to Calais Campbell for getting that. But there you go. There you have it. So the big one, though, the big one is MVP. I actually am watching the red carpet coverage right now of Lamar Jackson walking in before he knows he's won MVP. I think most of us would have said that was probably the way he was going to roll. A lot of us may be shocked that it was unanimous. But it looks like most people kind of understand why Lamar Jackson won. Some people maybe thought Russell Wilson should have got a little more attention and respect than he did, but that's the way it is. But I'm going to go ahead and end the stream now. I just want to let you guys know that news, and we'll leave this public so other people can come watch it too, as people keep finding out, because NFL awards, this is the way they do it now, I guess. But if you're not watching it live and you're watching on comment, make sure to leave a comment below. Let us know who you think was left out of the NFL Hall of Fame. If you think Lamar should have been the unanimous pick, all of that good stuff. Thanks for everybody who came out here to hang out with us live. I appreciate all you guys, as always, come to Sports Wars. Make sure if you're not subscribed, you do subscribe. Smash the like button on the video. Share it out there. Ring that bell for notifications so you can find out breaking news just like this. And we'll talk to you guys later. Peace. And I wait because I forgot that I'm supposed to hit end broadcast.